Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH Plus. We're doing daily, so let me check on Greedbutt for yesterday. Greedbutt recently changed its ranking system, so the all-time leaderboards only look at the last 30 days. Selfishly, that was very good for me. Now I'm ranked 54th overall with a 2.54 average percentile run. Yesterday we were 0.92% with a rank of 123. How aesthetically pleasing. It's a little bit... It's tough to say how I feel about this. First off, I will say I think there should be like... And I'm not trying to give you more work, Europa, if you're watching this. What in the world is this? Conehead, tractor beam, split shot, and the D6. Alright. Fairly standard altogether here. I don't know what necessarily this means, but... Maybe it's some kind of special Conehead, split shot, tractor beam, D6 day. That we're all, of course, acutely aware with from our time in kindergarten. I don't want to give Europa more work, but it feels like even if the main leaderboard is for the last 30 days, all time should be all time. If you should maybe have two different SKUs that you can go for, but apart from that, it does solve the problem of, one bad daily screwing you for the rest of your life. Instead, one bad daily screws you way harder, but only for, the amount of time it takes to purge it out of a month's daily rotation. So that's not that bad. And it's a month in terms of, calendar dates. It's not a month in terms of, 30 dailies. Of course, those could be one and the same, but you get the idea. Anyway, for, the 8th Isaac daily in a row, I have to apologize. I feel 100%, but this flu is no joke. Still a little congested in the old vocal region. I managed to infect my wife with whatever illness I'm suffering, or I have suffered from as well, so basically made it through the whole winter, and then all of a sudden you get something like this. Basically, I blame Boston. Fuck you, Boston. Not people who live there. More power to you, but fuck you, city of Boston. The concrete and the cold and the snow. And the winding, twisted roads with no conceivable design foresight whatsoever. I mean, that's not really to blame for illness, I suppose, but at the same time, fuck you, Boston city planners. Or at least the design documents you've created. So I lost my spirit heart, and I'm not super thrilled about that. I think I'm going to reroll Little Steven. Honestly, rerolling Little Steven for a speed upgrade seems correct. I'm going to come down here. Getting it twice on the first floor is not that awful. Life goes on. We will take both of these pills as well. It's the benefit of starting as Isaac. We can afford to do so. Verp gives us another Verp pill. So hopefully this is a good pill. It's not good enough, but because we have the Verp pill... Wait, Conehead caused us to not take damage there, which was nice. Because we have the Verp pill being held, the next time we get a good pill, we can double it. As long as we're smart about this. Let me head down to the next floor here. I got a message from Sinvicta. It said... WTF, I got an email from a PR company to check out their game, and above the signature it has a, ooh, not good enough. Above the signature it has a picture of the person, but they look like a fake person from a camgirl site. Well, there's no reason you can't have two careers. Every millennial needs to have a side hustle in today's day and age. It's just the way things go, Bomb and a key. Sorry, bomb and a penny for a key. Not bad. Wait, was there a tinted? No, I thought I saw a tinted rock bag. Well, excuse me? I also feel ripped off. Not in a real way, but I got a flu shot this year. It's the first year I've gotten a flu shot since 2012 or something like that. And I don't, people, is there actually division over flu shots? Here's my division over flu shots. I want to get a flu shot every year. But sometimes I just forget, or sometimes I'm I'm too lazy. This time I went to the pharmacy to do something else, and they were like, hey, while you're here, do you want to get a flu shot? And I was like, you guys understand me. But if I get a flu shot, shouldn't that protect me from every possible infection by any disease? And I'm not saying, you know, scientifically shouldn't it. I'm saying, like, you know, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if a single injection protected you from any infection? You can fill in the rest for yourself. I've already done the heavy lifting here. Alright. Very Northernlion-y recently. To take damage on an all-important boss fight. Thankfully, we didn't do that. There was no way to get a Spirit Heart, so I think that this was a smart call. And, oh, this is good. This is some good stuff here. You probably want Contract from Below. And then I think we want to re-roll the other two just to see if we can get something a little bit better. This is tough, dude. I actually am going to play this a little bit more conservatively than I normally would. And there's a good reason for that. This one only goes to the mom fight. And if it only goes to the mom fight, it means we're going to need a lot of HP. And if we're going to need... By the way, now I would have taken the pentagram. Or the ability to fly, maybe. But I didn't know that those Spirit Hearts would have come so quickly. Or sometimes not at all, baby. But we're going to need to do a self-sacrifice rune, if possible. Or maybe find an AWAS rune. Okay, 1 up is fine. So we're going to need HP, and we're going to need it relatively quickly. So I think that to be let me put it this way. You can always shift from being more conservative to more aggressive with these devil deals in the future. But you don't necessarily have the option to be super aggressive with the deals with the devil. Well, now I really wish we'd done the pentagram item. But at the same time, we did get Contract from Below, which is allowing us to double up here anyway. I am going to... You know what? No, I'm not going to check for the... for whatever's in the Tinted Rock there. Not Tinted Rock, the Tarot card there. I'm just going to go straight for this. Because I want to keep this Vert Pill. I think we already have value from this Vert Pill. Come on, get value from the Vert Pill. Madness is the trick to... You get the idea. So, I'm just going to quickly check for a second secret room. I think we're doing fine on time. Relatively speaking, but we might want to go slightly faster, and we will take our range upgrade because I gave myself no choice, and we'll head down to the next floor. We already have infinite range because of Tractor Beam, but maybe the mom transformation will give us something in the future. So this is great. I mean, we could get bad pills. There's no question. Bad pills do exist on this run. Probably. There is a question, actually. You shouldn't open that with there's no question, but you get the idea. So let's make sure all these guys die. We are a little bit light on the damage side of things. We should really start to... I mean, we're halfway through this run if you want to get technical, so we should start to think about where we stand and what our plan is. I think if we find a self-sacrifice room anywhere on the depths, you should just bounce. Power pill? Bad trip. It's obviously, like, not worth it, but pop another power pill here. Bombs are key. Unlikely to be what we want to use with Vert, but basically what I'm getting at is if we want to teleport, we might not want to look a gift horse in the mouth. So even if it comes on Necropolis 1 or Depths 1, we might want to take a stab at it right there. The other alternative is we get the shovel, we get an AWAS rune, we get, you know, golden teleporter or something like that. Unknown, or not missing no, but yeah, it's called Unknown, right? It's funny, I used to know it off by heart, but then when they took away teleporting on the chest, it became a little bit of a lower priority to know that, but that would also possibly help us there. Okay, and the Spirit Hearts are really nice. That's not Contract from Below on that one, but I appreciate it either way. We can definitely afford to take whatever we want from a deal with the devil here. So on a run like this, boss rush is important. There's no question. I know I'm saying that a lot when sometimes there apparently is a question, but I feel correct in that statement right now. It's possible, although from being at greedbot.com earlier today, I can tell you it's not literally true, that the upper ceiling for this run, unless you find a seam, is going to be in like the 20,000s. So it would be good for us to not squander like a quarter of that possible score. But really, the way that runs that end at Mom's Heart tend to go is if you, if you, manage to find the seam that allows you to get further into the game, usually you're gonna rank pretty well. Unless it's obvious, in which case that's just the bare minimum you need to do in order to stay, like, afloat. If you don't find it, you're gonna rank pretty badly, so... We're gonna continue to keep an eye out for where that theoretical seam can possibly be, but the ideal is definitely that we do boss rush with, like, a teleport card or an AWAS rune or something like that. Get out, go to a self-sacrifice room, and make that happen. So, actually, now that I've said that, I'm a lot more interested in making this Fool card work. And I do feel like if we just done things in a slightly different order, if we'd had some Spirit Hearts going into that first deal with the devil, we would have... Yeah, that was bad. We would have almost certainly taken the Pentagram, which would be a modest damage increase, but also an increase in our odds of getting a deal with the devil in the future. So that could prove to be a bad situation. There's no item room. Right, I mean, they started you with some good stuff, but I definitely would not have wasted, like, 45 seconds to come back this way if I'd known there was no item room. So as much as I hate to say it, I think you do take the Vert Pill. Or, sorry, I think you drop the Vert Pill, because we don't want Bombs or Key right now. And I think you take the Fool card instead. And my reasoning is very simple. We might want to teleport out of Boss Rush to get the Boss Rush points, but also have a chance to maybe get a self-sacrifice room that's on the depths too. But this requires there to be a self-sacrifice room on the depths too. We're going to be, I would say, even more than a minute short on this floor for Boss Rush purposes. So we really need to speed up on the next floor. But, you know, we learned an invaluable piece of information on this floor, which is... Fuck looking for item rooms, it's irrelevant. And Old Bandage, I think, is good if we're going to be playing a self-sacrifice room, so I'm not anti that. Alright, let's move on here. I think we made a decision that is going to help us out in the future. We could Fool card right now as well, but... So I wouldn't recommend that, but I will admit that as I was doing it, I was like, come on, man. You know the Conehead's gonna block one of these hits. The Conehead did not block any of those hits. But to take half a Spirit Heart of damage to get our only bomb might be fine. Although we're probably gonna use it to, like, look for a secret room, like, oh god, right here. Yeah, this is a little tricky. Yep. This run is... starting to suck bad. This floor would be a great time for us to get a deal with the devil that really elevates it beyond just being mostly, like, average. But that's up to us as well. Okay, the Hermit card is just a better version of the Fool card for our purposes. We can afford to use one of them on this floor. Probably rather use it to teleport out of a shit room. This is kind of a shit room. 3.5 damage on the Flooded Caves is not going to carry us too freaking far. Let's assume we don't want to backtrack. So we pop this, we fight Greed. Good day to you, partner. I'm Greed. I can already tell I'll waste your time in this godforsaken run. Dude. Please don't make me... have to stand so close to you, you know? It's my favorite song by The Police. In the end, I made a decision, basically, to be more aggro and take more damage there, so... Basically, fuck you, buddy. This is, I mean, one thing I haven't even talked about on this run is, are we going to be able to even have the HP required to play a self-sacrifice room? And to some extent, that depends on our luck stat. If we can get Old Bandage to work for us, then it's possibly not a worry at all. We also do have the 1-up, which gives us the ability to be a little bit more aggressive, certainly. I hate this boss with bad damage. It's like, if the first time you fought this boss you had 8 damage, you would be like, this is the easiest boss in the game. I don't understand why everyone, or why anyone complains. If you fight the boss with the damage that we got right now, find yourself questioning, you know, your faith in humanity a little bit. Really? Okay, well, we'll take the pajamas. I'm actually going to book it. And I realize I'm getting rid of my teleport card by doing this. I think we have to, like, make that sacrifice in order to stay positive about our chances to make boss rush here. Especially, you know, I mean, we are guaranteed to deal with the devil on this floor, but in order for it to be extremely worthwhile, it has to be DPS. Or in order for it to be insanely useful, it has to be DPS. I actually think that, like, with our rate of fire right now, it might not, or with our DPS right now, it might not be plausible for us to make boss rush, even having made that sacrifice, but, you know, there's always the chance for, like, an Emperor card. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if we stopped hitting every dead end on the face of the fucking planet as well. By the way, I love Tractor Beam. There's some really good stuff going on with Tractor Beam here. I think it's been a huge positive. At the same time, not being able to fire diagonally, it just hit me. Like, apparently I created the fucking wall there that prevents me from being able to get by. At the same time, being unable to fire diagonally puts me in a weird spot on some of these rooms. Thank you for those bombs. Those bombs are going to be very useful. 1 bomb and 2 keys. You know, 1 bomb and 2 keys for a golden chest. Well, the bombs are not plentiful. The keys are, so I think it's maybe okay. Yeah, I'm starting to feel the pressure, to be honest with you. And again, if we find a self-sacrifice room on this floor, we should probably teleport. I think, at least. Maybe a shovel from A Deal with the Devil, that would make me feel a little bit better. Did that all for the penny. Come on, the penny. Come on. So you can take that Henny. See, I don't know much about hip-hop culture, to be honest with you, but I know that Hennessy is popular. I mean, it symbolizes class, maybe? Is that why? Cognac is kind of like a sophisticated drink, I suppose. Plus, I guess it rhymes, you know, penny, henny, eggs benny. Fenny, that's like when something's funny, but you say it with a weird accent. Okay, well, this is Infinite Spirit Hearts, so, in general, and the infinite bombs, not the worst thing in the world either. I really like this room. It's insanely powerful. We have to go for it. We have to go for it. Please tell me this is the right direction, because we're going to start to slip further and further behind if that's not the case. Now, though, at least try to get value adds, like, on every room that you can. So, first off, you can speed up a lot, I'm assuming, by not using your tears as much as you use bombs in this day and age. What a strange daily. We also could skip a lot of rooms, but I'm hoping that this ends up being irrelevant, but how can you... Tyrone, hear me out here. This is a curated daily. You start with some weird shit. Where's the items? Where's the power on this run? It's non-existent at the present moment. Sure, okay, I mean, like, Dad's key, or sorry, Mom's key is good. Diplopia's also good. I guess we'll roll Diplopia. You know what? We have to go. We're actually so tight for time that I'm mad. And... wait, it's the self-sacrifice room, so we use it here. We have to use it here. Is it worth missing out on boss rush to teleport here? I think we have to, but we might as well. So now we're not under the gun. We've made our commitment, and in a way, that's freeing. Especially because there's so many spirit hearts in that other room. Okay, it's all coming together. It's a puzzle daily. So what we want here is to find a good place to use Diplopia. Maybe, for example, free deals with the devil. Because after this, we're probably going to teleport, like, directly to the dark room, assuming we don't die in the process. So you could Diplopia Cupid Meat, that's irrelevant. I do think that there is value in diploping. It's a weird sentence to say. But I think there's value in diploping this. So we get these items for free, and we get to keep the D6. And if we're not going to be going to boss rush anyway, we might as well take advantage of this. Now, is there any advantage to taking a second something? Yeah, I mean, a second Brother Bobby is not horrible, I suppose. The other thing we could have done is Diplopia. First off, our damage is still horrible, but the other thing we could have done is Diplopia Spirit Hearts as they dropped. I don't know what we're gonna do on the Dark Room. We do have single cube of meat, BFF, so that's something. This is gonna take away, like, maybe close to, like, a quarter of our points. But it has to be done. So, a big deal here, and very sincerely, a big deal here, is we need to just take that item for sure. We need to reroll the key pieces from the angel statues. So, I mean, the halo is not really that great by itself, but it's at least something. Now, remember, right after you fight the second angel statue is where you're going to teleport. So don't step on the spike again. We want to reroll both of these, and if we have to, we can always get another D6 charge, probably. Yeah, we can get several, actually. I don't necessarily know that this is still the right decision. I mean, we are missing out on boss rush by doing this. I don't think the HP... I mean, it's not bad, but I don't think it's that good. I think we want to buy a Spirit Heart. What's the pill? 48-hour energy. That's beautiful. Don't step on the spike. That would be a big mistake here. Those are also not that good. We really need something that's going to take us to the next level here. X-ray goggles and the Ankh? Really? Of all possible outcomes here. But now we actually... Even if there was a self-sacrifice room on the next floor and we could have made it, we've made our decision and I'm okay with it. I actually think that at least we committed, and we committed in a way that I'm, you know, it showed determination, it showed grit, and I'm happy with it. We're clearly not going to be at full HP here, but at least we'll have some. And then, we're going to need to, well, first off, get the battery charge, but we're going to need to live on the next floor, and basically that's hell. Which is why I'm re-rolling through these items to try to get something that's really game-breaking, because typically your run doesn't go, you know, Necropolis 1. I do appreciate that, thank you. Typically your run doesn't go Necropolis 1 and then straight into the Lamb fight. Seeing if maybe the deal with the devil was still open, because maybe we'd want to re-roll those for a higher chance at something good. But we'll come down here and re-roll. I mean, the syringe is sort of tempting. And we've re-rolled through a lot of items that I'd consider 6s. If we were going for the normal game loop, I'm taking those 6s, especially because they can aggregate into a spun transformation. And I'm off to the races, right? But not today, because we need to be faster. And I mean, Booger Tears is a start. And I mean that quite literally. We're not really expecting to get a lot of items on the Dark Room. First off, we have to survive. Second, like, we have to kill rooms to get a chance of getting items, except for the first room. And then beyond that, thanks for these battery charges, though. We need, oh, that's good stuff. Ooh, you know what? I know we could use this on the next floor. But we know we have 3 items in there right now, so I think that that's actually really advisable. And I sort of feel like 1 red heart for 2 demon hearts is a smart trade now that we're not at the cap. And then we reroll the other 2. We'll take Maw of the Void. And you know what? Then we also take Ghost Baby. Not because Ghost Baby is good, but because it gives us the empty vessel play here. So that was highly aggressive, but we'll get invincibility and the ability to fly. The invincibility is super useful with Maw of the Void, and it's taken like 8 rerolls here, but we found ourselves in a situation where I've started to build a run that I think can actually win, and then we get Infestation too. So you'll forgive me, but I think that we probably made the right decisions there. Alright, let's do this. 2 guppy items right now would be a huge get. Or also none is the other alternative. Infested, and then question marks. So I saw people with like 40,000 scores. I don't know, you must have teleported out of Boss Rush to make that happen. Like, and I don't begrudge you that at all. We'll take Forever Alone, but leave Anti-Grab to be rerolled. We're not going to be in the 40,000s. What that indicates to me is that probably there must have been a way to do Boss Rush, maybe get like the shovel or a Teleport 2.0 or something, and then get out of the rat race a little later instead of as early as we did. So I don't begrudge that. That's the fun of these dailies sometimes is, wow, I should have been hit probably. Maybe Conehead protected us actually. That's the fun of these dailies sometimes is, you know, you make a plan and you see how it works out. Did ours work out? I mean, I'm pretty proud of it, honestly. Like, I would say against all odds, we actually turned this into a run that has a good chance to beat the Dark Room. I'm trying to generate as many black hearts as possible. It's also possible that that was just like, it could be like consumable breaking or something like that that I just missed. Happens all the time. Yeah, I dodged right into that, but thankfully the game was extremely kind. It gave me invincibility for the 2nd time in a row now, like right after I would have normally been hit. So we're gonna go reroll Anti-Grav. It's not quite good enough, I think. I also don't know where our point total is gonna end here. Like, you only get a bonus for beating Mega Satan. You don't get a bonus for beating the Lamb. We already got a bonus for teleporting. I don't really care about that trinket, to be honest with you, at this point. So I don't really know where we stand on this run in terms of our total points. I'm guessing that it's gonna be like roughly what we're at right now. So this could be a 23,000 point run. That's pretty bad, because that's where you should be when you beat Boss Rush. So if we had just not teleported, it might have been better, but yes. But either way, we made a plan and we freaking stuck to it, dude. I can't be mad about that. Also, we turned this, by sheer force of will and like a lot of battery charges, we turned this into a run that's actually fun as well. It's a little, you know, aggro. We got to be pretty close to enemies, and I don't like to be pretty close to enemies in this situation, but it's actually fun. So we're gonna use the double reroll here, although I gotta admit, the Monstro was good enough. Oh, it's Big Chubby, not Mini Monstro, but with BFF, it's not that bad. And Mom's Contacts is a Mom transformation, but also like a good tier effect in its own right. So good. We're hitting every dead end, which is for once actually what we want. That was bad damage, but let's be honest, by the way, with the way that run was going, we probably were not going to make it to Boss Rush either way, so I think I should mostly just count my blessings that we were able to make something interesting happen on this run. But this is, I'll admit, possibly one of like the worst possible things that can happen on a daily, and that's, I mean, you could just die, I suppose, and not in the daily, but in real life. That would be really bad, but it's when you think you've done something very clever, but you actually just outthought yourself and found yourself in a position where you're gonna rank poorly as a result of your own cleverness. And that's, you know, I know that sounds like I'm being like, oh, I'm so smart, the game can't appreciate it. No, it's quite the opposite. Sometimes, you know, people mistake complexity with intelligence. It's not always true. We did something very clever on today's run, that might have actually been exactly the wrong thing to do. We might have been substantially better off just going for boss rush, doing the best that we could there. Where did my... Oh, my items are all gone now, thanks to Curse of the Maze. And then just taking the points as they came that way, but I don't know, maybe, maybe not. Again, I fully expect us to finish this run, depending on the damage that we take, maybe at like 25,000, 26 maybe. I've seen 40s on the leaderboards, so we're basically screwed. But it also might be one of those situations where there's like a very strange distribution of items, or sorry, of scores. Like, there could be peaks and valleys depending on where people chose to get off, you know, Mr. Tyrone's wild ride here. This will probably hurt us. Yep, I dodged into that. Why not, dude? At this point, why not? Tiny Planet Tractor Beam is actually awesome, although our shot height is very high. I think we should really... I know we could well, not re-roll now, but we can go back and get some items. I don't really care. I just want to finish this run. Oh, we got invincibility. Trying to get not Charm of the Vampire, Maw of the Void to work in here as well, but doesn't synergize too well with Chocolate Milk at this rate of fire, I think, but very lucky on the way those booger tears went. How'd we do? Just give it to me straight, Doc. We got 28,000, we're 138. So yeah, I'm peaks and valleys. Peaks and valleys, because we're way off of the top score, but we're still at like probably top 1.5% to 2% here, maybe even top 1%. So thanks for watching. I'm pretty proud of what we did, even though it ended up maybe being the wrong decision. If you enjoyed the episode, click the like button. Helps out a great deal, and of course subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.